What's up, you guys? It's TJ Stefano from Advanced Training. Today we're going to look at some of the main keys to using off-ball screens. All right. So when you're using off-ball screens, you've got to be able to change your pace, change your height, change your speed, create contact if your defender's hugged up on you, or just set it up any way to be able to get your defender trailing and a little bit late on that screen so that they have to make a decision of whether they want to come off trailing you on that back hip or shooting the gap. So we're going to look at a couple of clips here from a couple of guys who are really good at using these screens. The first one we're going to look at is Agbaji from Kansas, number 30 over here in this left corner. Now he recognizes that he already has the space he needs to use this screen, so he doesn't have to do anything to create the space. If the space is already given to you, just take it. Just use what you have. He comes off this pin down, and his man has to come from the block all the way up to the wing extended to the three-point line, and it's just too late. When you're that good of a shooter, all you need is a couple inches of space, and so when he sprints off this screen and catches it and has about, I'd say it's probably about 2 feet of space, it's easy money for Agbaji. Catch and shoot, bucket. So he didn't need to create the space, he just took the space he was given. Now same thing here, Agbaji's right here in this right corner. So he comes off this pin down. This time he walks down a tiny bit to create a better angle to use his pin down. And he gets his man trailing. So he knows I don't need to create space. I just need to use this space. I'm not going to close this gap too early or too soon. I'm just going to use what I'm given. And he curls off of the screen. Now, number 4 for Iowa State decides to stay low. By doing that, Agbaji recognizes that since my man's caught on the screen trailing behind me, I can curl into this open space towards this right elbow, middle of the paint. In doing that, he recognizes 4 stays low on 33, and he attacks the rim. Now, right here, he's got 2 options. He could have tried to throw a lob to 33, throw it up, let him try to dunk it, or he could do what he does, which is right-left, takes the contact, finishes and 1. So let's watch that one more time, full speed. He recognizes he's already got the space. He walks down to get a better angle. His man gets stuck. He curls it right to the paint. Big man gets caught up trying to help late. Foul and 1. Here we're looking at Johnny Juzang from UCLA. He's number 3. He's right here in this right corner. This time his man is hugged up to him. As you see, 14 for Alabama is not giving him any room to breathe. He knows Juzang's a shooter. He knows he likes to come off of these pin downs and try to get open looks. So he's trying to make sure he can do everything he can to be there as soon as Juzang catches the pass. In doing this, Juzang recognizes that there's no space, and he walks into him and gives him a nice little push-up. It's nothing extra, nothing excess to where he might get called for an offensive foul. He just walks in and pushes him just enough to get this space right here, which is all he needs. His big man sets a great pin-down screen, and the big man for Alabama, again, doesn't come and show on the screen. So Juzang recognizes he's got the opportunity to curl into this space towards this left elbow. He does it, and instead of attacking the rim, he just goes for the nice, easy pull-up. Bucket. So let's watch that again, full speed. As you see, 14 hugs up to him, walks in, changes his pace, and creates contact. Curls right into that easy mid-range jumper. Great shot by Juzang, great read, great adjustment. So Agbaji again from Kansas. Here he is. He's down in this right corner. Now this time, he walks down a tiny bit, and he uses his contact. Doesn't push off like crazy, but walks down, sets him up, gives himself the angle for this pin down, gets his man caught on it again. He's trailing. Same situation. The West Virginia big man is staying low in the paint, so this time he curls right-left, right into that little mid-range pull-up. If you get your defender trailing on that screen and there's no big man to help, the opportunity to curl is going to be there most times. He curls right into that little mid-range shot. Easy bucket. Great job by Agbaji. Juzang again. Now this scenario is almost exactly the same as the one we looked at in the earlier clip, but I want you to see and check out the small details of a difference. So 14, he already got burned on 1. He got burned on the curl earlier, so he knows I don't want to let Juzang I don't want to give him even an inch of space on this catch. So he's literally hugged up on him and behind him so that he can come right off the screen when Juzang comes. Juzang creates contact once, stops and bumps him again, and then runs right off that screen shoulder to shoulder. No room for 14 to get through. Now, actually, 14 does a great job defending and is still right there on the catch. He gets around that screen pretty well. But because the big man for Alabama stays low, Juzang is able to get into the paint, 2-foot jump stop, goes up for a floater, and gets fouled. So let's watch it full speed here. Juzang bumps, changes his pace, changes his height twice, creates contact twice, gets to the middle of that paint. 2-foot jump stop, pump fake finish. Agbaji right here on the right corner. This time he recognizes he's got the space, so he doesn't need to create it. He runs up, his man shoots the gap, and he's able to get a wide open catch and shoot 3. So let's run that back in slow motion so you guys can see the details. As he runs up, he has this space to curl right here towards this right elbow, but he recognizes that his man tries to shoot this gap, go under the screen. So if he was to curl right here, his defender would meet him right around that space. He may still have been able to get the shot off, but look at this space as compared to what would have been in this space. Now let's watch his footwork. When he recognizes that his man shoots the gap, he plants this inside foot, which would be right on this left side, be left on this right side. He plants that foot and he kind of pushes out laterally when you think about the fact that his chest is facing the sideline, but it's up towards the 3, up towards the half court line, and he gets that wide open catch and shoot 3. So we'll watch it again full speed. Comes off, recognizes the guy shoots the gap, pops back, catch and shoot 3, easy bucket. Great job by Agbaji. Now here we are with Juzang. Juzang cutting through the paint. Recognizes he has the space, comes off, guy tries to shoot the gap, he fades it again as well. So let's watch it again slow motion. So Juzang cuts through. He's right here at this right block if you can't find him. He's coming off this screen. He already has the space, so he just runs off the screen, recognizes the guy from Michigan, tries to shoot the gap and meet him where he would have curled. So he plants his inside foot right here, left foot plant, pushes off backwards, and gets right behind the screen for a nice catch and shoot 3, bucket. Agbaji right here, walks down, turns, recognizes the guy tries to shoot the gap, nice catch and shoot 3. So let's watch this slow motion. He's walking away from the play. That is a great job setting it up, but the Iowa State player is still pretty aware. He's still playing pretty good defense, but if you're walking away from the screen, especially younger players, a lot of times your defender's going to relax because he thinks you're not going to be having anything to do with it if the ball's not on your side. He turns, bumps him just a little bit, gives him a small push off, and forces his defender to choose. Do I want to try to curl it? Do I want to try to trail him and let him curl it? Or do I want to try to shoot the gap and meet him where he's going? He decides to shoot the gap. 44 for Kansas does a great job of re-screening. A lot of younger big men won't understand this concept. So if you're a guard that is watching this video, you can teach your big man. If you're a big man who's watching this video, take this and add this to your screening bag because it can help get a lot of people a lot of open looks. So he recognizes he shoots the gap. He re-screens at a different angle and gives Agbaji just about a second and a couple inches of open space, and that's all he needs to knock it down. Great job by Kansas. Great job by Agbaji. Now here we are, Juzang, right here in this right corner. This time, 55 is pointing. He says, I'm going to send him away from the screen. I'm not going to let him use this pin down. He already knows it's coming. UCLA runs this play a lot, so they already have it scouted. He's pointing. I'm sending him away. I'm sending away. Juzang is a very intelligent player. He just uses 55's positioning against him. He just runs off the inside of the screen as opposed to the outside of the screen. He wasn't ready for it. You see he gets stuck right there on that screen, and Juzang catches it right towards the free throw line. Now, he makes a tough shot right there over a 7-footer, but it's the principle of understanding that sometimes you don't really have the option to go off this screen the way you want to. If the defender's forcing you this way, he could have back cut, but the big man from Michigan would have been there for a pass, so it basically would have just been a dead play for him. He would have just ran through, guys would have filled over, and they would have just ran something different. But he uses 55's positioning against him. He's playing way too high. He runs off the inside, gets him stuck, runs right to that free throw line, bucket. That's a great job being creative and innovative off that screen by Juzang. Now Agbaji again has the ball right here. This time he sets it up by walking down and then changing his pace and sprinting into this curled three-pointer. So watch again. He walks down. It almost looks like he might go set a pin down for 24. and then he plants, and again, he gets his body into his defender. He doesn't necessarily push off this time, but he steps his foot towards his defender and just gets the space that he needs in order to run through this pass because his defender's trailing. So he runs through it, curls left, right. Great shot. That is a tough shot, but that is a great shot for a good shooter like Agbaji. Now here we are again looking at Juzang. Juzang. This is a concept that is extremely important, and I would love to see more young players understand it and do it in their games and in their offenses. He decides, well, he doesn't decide, I'm sure it's a set, but he sets a back screen for a cutter right here. In doing so, the defenders get caught up. They didn't know whether they were going to switch or help. So he's lost. Now they switch again to try to recover the space that they've lost, and that guy gets caught on the screen. And then in doing that, Juzang's able to curl for a jumper, but understand this. Look at how many defenders guard Juzang right here just because he sets a screen and comes off a screen. Screen the screener action, but this is a back screen into a little pin down screen. So this is Juzang's initial defender. He decides to switch on the back screen. So now this guy is technically Juzang's defender, but he's lost. He's got no idea. So now this guy decides to switch on Juzang. So that's his third defender. He curls, and then he's caught on the screen. So they switch again, and Juzang has now been guarded by 4 of the 5 Ohio State players in, let's see how many seconds. 17:02 is when he sets this screen. And by the time he catches it and shoots it, 16:58. So he has 4 different defenders in 4 seconds simply because he decided to set a screen and then use a screen. Screen the screener action, curls into it, recognizes he's got the space, dribbles into it, nice little pull-up jumper over the big man, bucket. So we're going to see a couple more clips of this screen the screener action. Utah State does this extremely well. That's why I pulled these clips. This is Brock Miller right here. He does the same situation. He sets a back screen for 44. In doing that, his man has to help, or else 44 might get a wide open backdoor layup. Now his man is extremely late coming off of this screen. He curls it all the way to the corner, open mid-range jump shot. So if you are a shooter looking to get more open shots, screen somebody and then run, sprint off of the next screen that's coming for you. Now you obviously have to have good teammates that are willing to screen. If you're a coach, you have to run plays for your players to be able to screen the screener. But it is an extremely, extremely efficient way to get your defender to help and then to have him late coming off of these other screens and either forcing people to switch, which can cause havoc on the defense, or just getting yourself open. So here again, Miller sets a back screen for the big. His man has to stay and help. Colorado State actually does a pretty good job guarding it. He gets over the screen and doesn't let the big man get help. Doesn't let the big man get position. He's not going to need that help. But just because he set it, his man's still late. It's just clogged up in the lane. And he gets to curl off this little down screen and hit a very tough shot. Now understand, yes, that is a tough shot, but he is a Division I high-level shooter. He does this for a living. It's his job. He got a scholarship to go to school to shoot, so this is a good shot for him. Runs through the ball, left, right, raises up, right over the defender, nothing but net. Screen the screener, gets him open. Gets him just enough space to hit the shot. He doesn't need a lot. Here we go. Brock Miller sets a screen. His man has to help, and it's just for a second. Look how small of a window. He just moves for like half a second. Just barely moves, barely stunts. But that's all Brock Miller needs. Now he's got about a foot of space. Sprint. The big man doesn't help. So he gets right into that shot, raises up over the guy. Catch and shoot bucket. Great job. So that is all I have for you guys today about coming off of off-ball screens. As you see, there's a lot of different reads. There's a lot of different variables that go into it. But if you watch this video and you add a couple of these keys into your game, you add some, you add to your skill set of off-ball movement, you will help yourself get a few more buckets, and you'll make everybody that you play with around you better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you all. Peace out.